Okay, I managed to do a ton of work in making the triangulation work a lot faster. At least for the web version, so hopefully that'll be better off in the future. Most of the stuff I'm doing doesn't even involve triangulation that often, but I'd rather address it up front, I guess. Also, I need some better UI representation of saving. I should do that at some point. But for now, I'm going to make the switch again, click on a few different equations, and it'll show the different altitudes that are relevant. I need something like self-partial equations. That's gonna equal something. A bit like that. I guess it'll be one V group. So for now, I can have this, that'll just say like C sine A equals A sine C. Equals A sine C like so. Just return that. Man. Like this. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, even the sign worked without having two backslashes. I hope I can remove that everywhere now. I'll keep the spaces here. So something like this. Now, coloring these is kind of a pain. If I times down. I'll move these to the right as well. You're not that far, right? But something like this, then move the equation further to the side. Negative. This had to be more than -1. Maybe -3 or 4, something like that. Maybe 4.5. Yeah, that looks okay. And then I think I will actually move the triangle a bit to the side more. Maybe this is all I need. Maybe the triangle should just be smaller. Maybe if this is 4.5. I was trying to make it a 3-4-5 triangle. But I think a 3-4-5 triangle is actually not as well suited to this example. There, I think that's fine. Yeah, then maybe I don't have to move this as far to the left. I am bike shedding right now. Absolutely. Okay, this looks good. I'm just gonna add the rest of these equations now. Or I'll make this our return equations. It'll be this. I don't know, I'll just make it here. Yeah. Now this I'm going to want to color. Actually, I'll do the coloring later. For right now, I'll just copy this and get the extra ones, the other equations there. So 2 and 3, and then I guess I'm doing this in the previous one. So C sine A equals A sine C. So I guess I'll do A sine B equals B sine A. This. And then B sine C equals C sine B. Something like that. And they're all on top of each other. Next to or whatever doesn't work in OpenGL, so I'll have to do something like equation 2 model matrix and translate that by like -1 should be enough. It's actually too much, but it's doing the right thing. So make this negative like 0.7. I'll do equation 3. And this will be y equals negative. I'll do twice that, so 1.4. I actually think I need more spacing than that. Looking at this again, so let me do -1 and -2 again. That looks good. And I should color this. I'm going to combined equation, partial equations. I'm gonna up this y coordinate. Maybe just 1. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so C sine A, so that's the one that's currently here. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to color this, which is gonna be super annoying. One day I'll be able to do that just by clicking this. But for now, I'm gonna go through and color these. And there's already this colors dict. So I'm just gonna do like self.colors. It's gonna be this. And then this will read from self.colors. Let me see how easy it is to replace this. Colors with self.colors. That wasn't so bad. Then I shouldn't need this. replace and replace all. Okay, so this should do the exact same thing, and it looks like it does. I think. No, it looks like something froze, actually. Access out of bounds. Looks like a Pyodide error, I think. Let's see if I can find the top of it. Nope, guess not. I'm just gonna try to save that and then restart it. And then hopefully, if that happens again, I'll be able to catch it. The debug panel over here is losing its mind, though. Everything's working, so this debug panel. I'd rather restart this than think that's going to break soon. Assuming I can restart it. Okay, so I managed to close it, at least. Great. And I don't want to leave this open since it slows it down. So hopefully I'll be able to find that if it happens again. Okay, so back here, I have self.colors. This, I'll just run that. Okay, that does what I expect it to. I'm always paranoid that this is slower than usual. I don't think it is. But I just always have that paranoia. And I think it might be, actually. But I don't know why it would, since I just started this. And there's only like one time when I started a render loop, even. Who knows? Of course, there's also a good chance that it's not slower at all. Good old triangulate object new. Fills here. Yeah, it's doing the caching. Maybe I'm just making that up. Okay, so I have all of these. Should I color them or should I do the click handlers to like show the diagonal or show the altitudes? I think first I'll just color them because why not? I'll put equation 1. I don't even know how to color them. I do a bunch of indexing and then do set color. Gun P. Thanks so much. Do self.colors. I'm gonna try to color the C first. Oh, this looks like one of those spam things. Let me see. Maybe. I'll see if anything happens later on. Okay, so that's the right color. I'll just have to index this more. The indexing, the way I guess this is done with whichever library this is, MathJax, they format their SVGs in a really strange way. Okay, so after 5 of these, 6 of these? Well, 5, and then it starts selecting. It's finally selecting individual characters. And I also think this needs to be done using negative indexes to index from the front. So that's really weird, but gotta do it, I guess. Okay, so then I'm going to try to color this A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think. This might not work either. I'll have to see what this index is. That was almost right. There may be a setting which will allow you to unroll all the mobjects. So this will just be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But don't have that right now. Six, 7, 8. Okay, so 8. And this should be the color of the A. Okay, that worked. Now we need the color of the C. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for this one. Okay, so that looked good. Okay, anyway. So that's colored right. Now, I want to do essentially the same thing for the other equations. They're all pretty similar, so indexing these shouldn't be much of a hassle. I just have to switch this around. So this is the color of A, B, B again, and then A. Wasn't trying to do that. Okay, there we go. This be B, C, C, B like so. Great. Okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna save that and blindly assume the saved worked because there's no UI indication. I also, now that I save this, I'm gonna restart this whole thing and just make sure that the performance is the exact same. Because I keep getting paranoid that I'm rendering the same thing and multiple loops, which would cause it to slow down. All of this coloring code. Okay, so at this point, yeah, like here there's only one render loop. So clearly, this has to be doing the right thing. Although I wonder if there are mouse callbacks that are called more than one time per frame. So maybe if I didn't, maybe if I only handled mouse movement and stuff in the one render loop that's already there, maybe that would be more efficient? Possibly? I guess it would simplify the code a lot, because there's a lot of this code where instead of having a single update function, I have like an update on mouse down, an update on mouse up, and mouse move. Actually, thinking about it more, I'm not sure if that's possible. So I'll just leave this. Okay. Okay, so this first click business won't want to do that. And also setting this altitude to red, that doesn't make that much sense here. Also, what I'll try to do, I need to eventually make this so that I can set the font size dynamically. I don't know what the default is here. That's smaller. I mean, it's something like 18. Okay. Maybe that's a little bit more readable. Although I have less screen to work with. Anyway, I'll collapse this back down. Okay, now here... Okay, so what I want is when I click on one of these, I want like the corresponding altitude to change color or something like that. So... I'm gonna need like a mouse down, and I already have one. It's gonna be like, I'm going to intersect the mouse click with the bounding box of this, which I've already done before, I think. Actually, not quite. Because before, I do it with these dots, but for that I only intersect on a single point. Wait, that's not what I want. For this, the triangle, for the mouse down, I get the mouse point here, which I'll still have to do. Oh yeah, these are corners of the triangle. And then it's just looking for the distance between that point and the mouse point. But it's not a bounding box. But getting a bounding box shouldn't be that difficult. Although, how should I cache that? What I can probably do is just get the bounding box once. Yeah, that's what I'll do, actually. Partial equations equals this. Then I move them, then I place it here. Okay. Let me get a self.box. I must be able to get like a rectangle. Right? I actually don't know. Just so that I can visualize this. Okay, that's good. Now, to get the bounding box of one of these, I'm gonna need a function like get bounding box, something like this. Actually, no, that already exists, right? If I do... Is it it must be an OpenGL object. This? Hopefully. Here. Get bounding box. And it'll compute that, and that compute goes over the entire family. So if I go get bounding box, that should give me the point bounding box. So let me just... I'll just print self.partial equations at 0. And get this bounding box. So let me see what that is. And this is min, mid, and max. And it doesn't have a concept of model matrices, which is why this is centered on the origin. But that's almost all I need. Okay, let me compute that mouse point. That'll be this. On mouse down, there's a triangle update. There's a mouse point. And what I'll do... I'll do for equation in self.partial equations. Get its bounding box. And get bounding box is already cached. And then I'll just have to add to that bounding box. So plus. And this will be equation.model matrix. And the way you index the location is like this. Okay. Yeah. Well, this doesn't give me a width and height. It gives me like a low point and a high point, but whatever. Then I'm gonna say if that mouse point, I should do like numpy.all or something. I have to do bounding box indexed at 0. This is the low. These are all the lows. Less than the mouse point. So I have to do... I did this somewhere else in my code. I think it's like this. Then like axis equals 0. I'll just try to print something. Test. Nope, that didn't work. Bounding box at 0 is the low point, less than mouse point. I think the 0 index is correct too. But I'll just check this. Print bounding box at 0. And then the mouse point. And I won't do this other print. This one. Now when I click this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Why are there so many? Oh, this is for doing each equation. Let me just do 1. I'll do, this isn't a list. So I'll do like this, not including 1. So here, the mouse point is lower, higher, and then higher. The bounding box less than the mouse point. I guess I shouldn't care about the z-axis. Maybe do this, then I'll do an empty print. Or maybe what I should be doing with this. Maybe that time it worked. And that time it worked. Is this actually... Bounding box at 0. I think this is supposed to be the low ends. But it's printing test here. And here. But not here. Okay, I'm gonna have to put a dot or something at this location. So dot dot. I feel like I end up having to do this all the time. Okay, so I have this. Now when I click, I compute this, and I'm just gonna move the dot there. Colon 3 at 3 equals the bounding box at 0. Okay, so I'm indexing this one, and that is not where I... First of all, I thought I was indexing this one. That's weird. Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. Equation 1 is this one. So where did that get mixed up? Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. So this is partial equations. Then on mouse down for equation. Oh, because I'm doing starting at... Wait, no, this should just be 0. Because it won't be including the index 1. Okay, let me try something. Let me try this. Partial equations at 0. That's set color like green or something. Okay, so that's equations at 0. So the bounding box computation must be really wrong. For equation in... Okay, so this is only the 0 one. Equals bounding box at 0. Okay. I'll call this like lower dot. Looks like this bounding box computation just isn't working. And I'll be really upset if I have to debug another, like, broken Bantam thing. Okay, so I have the lower dot and the upper dot. So I'll do that, and the upper one should be here. And that should be the max. Okay, so it isn't shifted. That's what's happening. Equation.model matrix at whatever. Why is it not shifting? Also, move this rectangle. It's not helping me. Right times whatever plus up times whatever. It's as if this just isn't happening. If I render this and click, yeah, this isn't being moved at all. That's weird. If I... Let me test this. Actually, I won't do it here. Here. I'll just do like 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. And like an R plus like 3 3 3. Yeah, it's adding this to each entry, which is what I want. Is the model matrix not shifted? Oh, the model matrix isn't shifted because I didn't shift the model matrix of this equation. I shifted the model matrix of the parent. So not equation.model matrix. Partial equations not model matrix, like this. Now if I render that, then I click, okay, now that's working. Great. So now what I want to check is if I still know if this is right. np.all mouse point is less than, oh, not mouse point, less than bounding box at 0 is less than the mouse point. Okay, pretty sure this will work. Okay. Okay, so this is working. What I need is and maybe mouse point less than bounding box at -1. This is the maxes. Then I'm gonna print that. Angle indicator. Where did that come from? Oh, this must have been some completion of and. I wish this had auto formatting or something. I'm not sure how this should be formatted. Should the and be here or here? I think I like it better the other way. Anyway, render that. Okay, now it clicks test only if I click this. That's perfect. So if any of these are clicked, that's when I want to set the corresponding diagonal to some color. So I'll need like I, comma, equation. And enumerate of this. Then I'm gonna do set color. Self dot altitudes at I. I guess I'll just set that to red. Yeah, sure. Now it's going to attribute altitudes. Is it triangle dot altitudes? Also, I don't need to do this draw thing. Yeah, I was thinking at some point I thought I might want to like draw them when you click the equation. But I think I'm not going to try doing that. At least right. Okay, so that's working well. Okay, so let me do that for all the equations. And actually, what I want to do, I want to set that one to red and set the other ones to like white again. Send those back to white. Or should I be doing their opacities? Maybe I should. Or I could just make the color yellow? Okay. This is a stylistic thing. Okay, so when I click on that, I'm gonna turn that yellow. That looks fine. Whatever. It's a good highlighting color. I don't have to deal with these dots anymore. Let me do for altitude and self.triangle altitudes. Altitude, and I'll do set color to white. Then I'll set color of the 1 to yellow. Then I'll iterate over all of them here. Yeah, so we don't need these dots anymore. Oh man, it's doing the wrong one. No, it's not working for all of them. That's annoying. Why would it work for the first one if it wouldn't work for the other ones? That's kind of strange. Okay, when do I click on this one? Nothing. Or this one? Still nothing. Interesting. For I equation and enumerate this, it should be getting the bounding box of the equation. Alright, I need the debugging stuff back. Thought I didn't need it. Now, how would I show this for all of these? If I do this, it's working for like exactly this one. What if I do this, so only index 1? It's still using equation 0. Why? I did 2 to the end, which is the last one. Still only doing the first one. Enumerate self-dot partial equations. Self-dot lower dot. Bounding box is it's doing equation dot get bounding box. And that should be updating for each one. Wait, how did I move these? No, yeah, this should work, because for each of these I shifted them by... Oh no. I moved their model matrices. Really, I need bounding box code that has awareness of the concept of model matrices. Okay, so we need this plus let me do it the other way around. This plus the equation dot model matrix plus this. So this I think will work. Yeah, so now that works for that one. Now you try to iterate over all of these, finally. And it's still not doing it. Why? Now it's only doing the last one. Why are the lower dot and the up? Oh, I see why, because this is outside that loop. That's an interesting way to paste. Okay, so finally that's working. Now, let me try to set all of these to white. And set the one I'm interested in to yellow. Okay, so that's right. A sine B equals B sine A. A times the sine of B equals B times the sine of A. Okay, so that's correct. Then B times the sine of C. Wait, wait. Here's C. Here's the sine of C. I think. Oh no. B times the sine of C, so that's correct. Is equals C. And C scaling the sine of B. So yeah, that's right. Okay, so this looks right. So if I could do this with opacity instead, which I can do, I can go through here and just set all these opacities to 0. I wonder if it'll work to do this. Oh no, that's a list, I think. I don't even think that's a object. Select altitudes, yeah, that's just a list. Maybe it could be a group, but I won't even bother. Actually, I will bother. Just because I like making life difficult for myself. I do star that. Now that's a group. I don't think that'll change anything. That still seems to be doing the same thing. The only thing is I should be able to do altitudes that set color. Man, I keep messing that up. Okay, that's still doing the same thing. So luckily that worked. Now actually I can't tell. Let me do set stroke. Opacity equals 0, something like this. Okay, so now it doesn't appear. I was wondering why that didn't work. Set this opacity to 0. I'll do I set stroke. And with this one, I'll set the opacity to 1. Great. It'd be neat if when you moused over it, it showed it with a lower opacity, but I can deal with that later on. Okay, now I think I can be done with the lower dot and the upper dot. Okay, that's pretty good. And I think I feel like that's just about all you need to see the law of sines and how it works. There should probably be a scene that has just this triangle with nothing else. And I think that'd be helpful. And there's also some like ancillary scenes that I sort of want to make. For now, I want to save this. And let me see if I can... Let me see what else I can do here. So I'm updating the altitude, which is good. Let me set all the altitudes to like yellow or something. Oh, and the opacity is to 0. Okay, and then if when I click them, I can like set the stroke width of the equation or something like that. So this is updating the altitude. Let me try to update the stroke width too. I just do width equals 5 or something ridiculous here. I wonder what the default is. Was it actually, I don't know if okay, stroke opacity equals 0. Let me do something like this. Man, I keep messing that up. For equation and self-partial equations, what I'll do is set stroke. I think it defaults to 0. And then with this one, the equation which gets captured here, I'll set that one's stroke width to... It wasn't... This does look slightly different from what it was before. So was it 1? I wasn't trying to scroll there. Oh, I captured... I captured and I overwrote the variable. Okay, that looks... Okay, well this is way too thick for sure. It would be nice. Thing is, I don't know what the stroke color... Maybe I should just set it to 0 by default. And then when I click on one of these, I'll set the stroke color to yellow. And the width to 3. Nah, maybe... Even... Okay, 3 is far too much if I do decide to do that. And 1 is too little. Yeah, I don't think... It'd probably look better if I just... Actually, what would look better is if I just faded the other ones out. I think that would look better than trying to set the color like this. So what I'll do is here, when I get the partial equations, I'll fade out all of them. Okay, that looks good. 0.5 or like 0.6. It would be nice if they faded in a little more when you moused over them, but I'll deal with that in a bit. I'll set this back to like 0.6, and this one I'll set the fill opacity to 1. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So C times the sine of A is A times the sine of C. A times the sine of B equals b times the sine of a. And here we have b sine of c equals c times sine of b. Great, so this is perfect, actually. Now, I think that's actually perfect. I don't know if I need anything else here. I guess it'd be kind of cool if I faded out the appropriate parts of this equation. What would I do with the equal signs? Like if it did sine A, if I did the sine A over A and sine C over C, which equal sign would I use? Maybe I'll just always have the equal signs at 100%. Okay, but this is generally looking pretty good. Let me see if I were to run this from the beginning. You have this. So this is going to introduce the equation and then just show... I actually know what was probably slowing this down. Just having more mobjects on the screen. Because the way that I clear these doesn't make that much sense. Is that like canvas? Yeah, I clear out all the children. Then I add them again. If they get rendered in the next frame. So I should probably do some diffing logic to say... Well, I would want to change the order if they appear in a different order, but that'll probably only happen rarely. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be better to do some actual performance testing. Anyway, I have this. Then from this, I could say, well, let's visualize the sine. And to visualize the sine, we can use this visualization. And actually, I should label the radius as 1. I should do that. So there's the ray. And the dot. I'm gonna need a ray label. Of 1. Where's the ray added? Okay, cool. Ray label. There needs to be like a update ray label or something like that. And there's a lot of things that happen on mouse move. These should be separated into like update X, update Y type things. Do I already have a label offset? Okay. rotation matrix x equals like half the radius. Okay, and then y. Let me do half. It probably should be less than that. I'm gonna need a ray label offset or something like that. No, I won't do it yet. Let me just see. 0.3. That looks fine. And that's probably what I'll keep it at. Yeah. Now on mouse move, once I update the ray here, I update it with the model matrix. Maybe we could just add the ray label to the ray. That'd be neat. Ray label. Yeah, let me try adding that to the ray. That'd be a cool way to do it. Something else that'd be cool is if the errors... Okay, that's super cool. I was able to make that follow the ray really easily. Now, what I should do is just rotate it. So that's always upside up. Or right side up or whatever. But yeah, making the exceptions have the red color, that would be neat too. Okay, so ray.model matrix of this, and what I want to do is self.ray label. The rotation matrix of the negative angle. And it's going back to the... Oh, wait. You know, that doesn't make sense. Oh, I want it to be translated and then rotated. Right? We translated... I want it to be translated and then rotated, yeah. Jeez. Alright, there. I think that should be the same translation matrix from here. Oh my gosh. Why did that happen? It should be translating, then rotating, then its parent will be rotating the other way, so those should cancel out. It's like setting the model matrix is overriding the parent or something like that. That's not how you comment. This has a way to block comment, but I don't know how. Shift Alt-A. I had a feeling that wouldn't work for Monaco. Control /. Is that not what I tried? Guess not. Okay, so this works. Okay, let me try putting the raised model matrix back to what it was in the first place. If this causes a problem, there must be something wrong with the logic. Oh, so that doesn't cause a problem. Oh wait, I didn't do it right. Okay, looks like that doesn't cause a problem. Now I'd want to rotate it, then do this translation. Because if I translate it, then rotate it, translate it, then rotate it, then the parent is going to rotate it back. So on this, so now it'll rotate, then translate. Great, and now it's doing what it's supposed to do. Although it does look kind of weird when you go into the second and third quadrants. Whatever, I don't care about that. Anyway, that works. Great. So I'll save that now. Intro, law of signs. It would be pretty neat if this drew the line instead of just making the line appear like this. But I don't think I care about that yet. Maybe I need one more scene where I just show the triangle with all the altitudes, and I'll maybe fade the altitudes out just a little. And then you could just play with the triangle. Yeah. I'll set the orthographic camera. And then mostly just add these coordinates, same as before. I'll probably shift them less. And then just add a triangle with altitudes. Just add this. Man. Oh, and I have to add the updaters and stuff. Mouse down, mouse up, mouse move. Although those are encapsulated into the triangle as well. All I'll really have to do... self.triangle.onMouse down update. Then up and then move. Okay, cool. And then let me just not shift this to the right so much. Perfect. And then the altitudes, I'll set the opacity to something more visible. Maybe 0.5 is good here. Okay, I think that's great. Now the only thing is, do I want one thing, I kind of want the equation at the top anyway. The law of sines equation. And also, I kind of want to color these lines. Like color the color of the angle that it's coming from, or the angle that it's splitting. Maybe that'd be kind of neat. Maybe we'll see what happens if I do like... dudes at like 0. I set this to blue. Because the altitude, the altitude isn't really associated with a side and an angle. Well, no, if it was associated with any side and angle, it'd be B on both accounts. That's the one that it's normal to, and that's the angle that it's cutting. So that, I think that does make sense. I think this is green. I don't actually know. Okay, cool. That looks great. Then I just want to have that law of sines equation at the top. This. Yeah. So that, I guess I'll need that self.colors. Wasn't trying to do that. Also, I'll save this. So like, I guess I might as well make this self.colors at whatever then, but anyway. Do that. Cool. And it's just be y equals like 2.5. And that did not work. Translation. Yeah, maybe 2.6, but 2.7. Did it move? Now I can't tell if it's doing anything. What if I just put a 3? Oh, I froze something. Dang. I don't know what this error means. I've seen it before. What it probably is, somewhere in Pyodide I'm leaking memory. That's what it has to be. But anyway, I already saved this, so I'll just restart this. And come back here. Run this again. Now, how much translation did I get it to? Oh, this is with y equals 3? It is. Guess I'll just use 3 then. Because it doesn't look that... Oh, maybe I could scale it or something. But I don't think that's necessary. This looks good enough. Then with this, you can sort of visualize all of these at once. Cool. Also, I might as well make this colors at B. And colors at C. Yeah, that's great. With that, I think I have everything with this that I want to really go over. Just to add some extra spice, it would be really cool. Two things. If mousing over these increased their opacity, and if when I clicked on one of these, it drew the line. Like it animated the line appearing. Those would both be pretty cool. Or maybe I should just push this so other people can use it. That'd be cool too. Nah, I'll do the mouse over thing first. Okay, so here's the one. Gonna be on mouse move. I should probably just cache these bounding boxes, right? I won't bother, I'll just do this. For each equation, and then if it's contained within it, then I'll set that equations. We'll have to know if it's selected, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep track of which equation is selected at any given point. Because if it's selected and then I mouse over it, then nothing should happen. Or... wait, hold on. Maybe I just want it to be like this. Now you just mouse over one of the equations and now it appears. You don't have to click on it at all. Why wouldn't I just do that? This might make it harder for animating though. But that's pretty slick. And you don't have to click on anything. But this makes it harder for animating because you could, if you just move your mouse like this, then you could be starting a new animation before you finish one of the animations. And that'll get kind of tricky. If you're just clicking them, I don't think that would really happen. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the clicking. But I'm gonna have to keep track of which equation is selected here. Self.selected equation, I'll put this at none. And then when you do this click, select equation will be that equation. Okay, so that's just like managing data a little bit better. Then when you mouse over, so here, when I mouse over one of those equations, don't have to do anything with the altitudes. I'm gonna say, if I mouse over equation, if it's the selected equation, then don't do anything. So if this, so basically we want if here, if equation is self.selected equation, then ignore that one. But for these, now at this point, I know that this is a this is not the selected equation. No, that actually still doesn't help. I don't think I want to do the check here. I think I'm going to wait until the mouse over, then say for partial equation in self.partial equations. Now if that partial equation is the selected equation, that's when I continue. Now if it's not, then I do that partial, oh wait. And if it's not, then I can do partial equation dot set fill opacity equals like 0.5 or whatever it was. 0.6. Yeah, I chose 0.6. But it isn't doing anything on mouse over. Why? The clicking is still working. For partial equations, self.partial equations, if it's this, that should never happen. Oh, so it's doing the setting this, and now at the end, I've just set the one that was moused over to like 0.2 8 or something. Okay, now mousing over highlight updates that opacity. Now if I click on it, but it's not skipping it if it's already selected. It says here if it's the selected equation, then continue. So why is it? For equation whatever, only if there's an intersection. It shouldn't do anything unless there's an intersection. Why is this setting the opacity lower? Why am I so bad at programming? For partial equations, if partial equation is a selected equation, it should just continue. Oh, I need an additional check. Yeah, you're pretty right there. It shouldn't even perform this check if it's the selected equation. This is a lot of work. Okay, now it's working. Now that it's working, I don't even know if I like this. Like the way that it looks. It feels like these opacities are too similar. Okay, let me do this. Selected opacity, this is 1. Well, that's obviously 1. Whatever, I'll do mouse over opacity. That'd be like 0.7 or something. And unselected opacity, that can be 0.5. Then I'll use these. So here, I'll set them all to be unselected. Then mouse down. These. Oh, did it freeze again? Oh, it didn't. Okay. Mouse down. One of these is going to become selected. And the other ones will become unselected. Then on the mouse move, one is going to come to mouse whatever. And these will just be unselected. So now mouse over needs to be higher, but at least that's encapsulated in one variable. Maybe this could be 0.45 and this could be 0.75. Like, it needs more difference. Maybe this could be up to 0.8. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Except when I mouse over... When I take my mouse off of it, it doesn't become unhighlighted. I never should have started doing this. Just mouse over stuff is a step in the wrong direction, if I'm being honest. I think way more work for much less payoff. Now the question is, do I want anything other than this, or is this all I need? Oh, it would be nice to fade out the relevant parts of this equation. That would make a lot of sense. In terms of tying it all together. Oh, and it's already even split up like this. So what I'll do, here's the mouse down, and here I'll have the index of which equation is that was clicked. So I want to map those indices to indices into this. So I want to say like self.loss signs equation like for it's not an equation, like for tech. Actually what I want this, I want 0 to the end by 2. So then I'll do 0, this one, and this one. And then I'll say if I comma tech and enumerate of this. Then if I in maybe it's something like I need something like tech index to tech or something. Also, this can't be I. J's and this, and I'll do that set fill opacity equals 1, else set fill unselected opacity. Great. Now that should crash because that method is not subscriptable. Is it considering index 356? Law of signs equation. Oh, I must have saved it as something else. Oh, combined equation. Okay, so this should crash. Okay, because there's no index to tech. And now this can be, oh my gosh, keyboard please. These will be sets. I don't even know how you just initialize a set inline. Can I just do set like 1, comma 2, comma 3? That's not. Maybe you pass in an object. Now that it must be a list. That's the only thing that would make sense. Also, this is way too small. I think this is 0, 2. Yeah, and I'll just only have that one at first. Key error 1. Okay. Guess I had to do it for all of them. So for 1, it's this one. So I think that's 0 and 1. And this one must be 1 and 2. Yeah, those. Well, it's not doing what I expected it to. Oh, because this is going to enumerate in a really weird way. I think. Wait, combined equation. If j and index... Okay, I'm just going to make this always 0. Else tech.setfill... So why is that never happening? What if I just put set 0, 2? Okay. So that's not working. So instead, tech indexed at 0 dot set fill opacity equals 1 for this combined equation or whatever, and 0 set that to 1. Combined equation from 1 onward. Unselected opacity. Okay, and even that's not working. So I don't know what combined equation at 0 is. If I index it again. But that doesn't make sense, does it? Self.love signs equation. It's just this. Oh, this... Wait. Will this be indexed weird? Here's what I should do. I really need a way to just click on tech and have it tell you like how it's indexed and stuff. Indexed at 0, that's set color. Color. Okay, so equation at 0 is all of it. Now probably have to index like 5 more times because that's how this works. Okay, this is still all of it. And this is still all of it. Okay, now it's doing it, and it's doing it from the opposite side. So if I did -1? Interesting, okay. So we need 5 indexes and then a negative sign and then the index I want. Okay, I'm gonna do something like... this is gonna get messy because this is just such an awkward way of doing this. Self combined equation like splits or something. And this is gonna have to be this with all the indexes. Maybe I could do like dot sub objects and then reverse that. So now, if I take combined equation splits, this, and I index that at 0, so that to red. Okay, so that works. And this at like 2. Okay. Great. So now for 0, for equation 0, I want 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I could just multiply all of these by 2. I hope. Like for this one, 0, 1, 2, and the 4. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I don't need to do that anymore. And on mouse down, still have this. Enumerate. So the index and the tag and enumerate. I'm gonna do combined equation splits. Oh, but I'm going by 2s, so you don't have to double those. Also, if J is in, I'll just say this, 0, 2. Okay, that did work. So this needs to be the set for index 0. So basically I don't have to multiply those by 2. And now this set should be self dot whatever index to tech. Index that at I, that'll give me the set, so I'll check J in that set, and maybe now this will work. Great. That was kind of worth it. Right? Okay, so now I'm thinking, is there anything else that I even want to include in this? This has pretty much everything I need to like make a fairly intuitive walkthrough. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I need here. I think this is pretty much done. Because I'll just introduce it here. Say it looks like this. Maybe this could be scaled up a bit. But now I'm super, super bike shedding. Also, I don't know for sure if that'll work. Also, oh, this might not work. Because the animation, it might animate it by overwriting its model matrix. And it does. This isn't right. Oh, whoops. Where was I? Here? Yeah, it shouldn't overwrite the object's model matrix. Because that means any change I make will be overwritten. How should this actually happen? I guess the animation can keep a translation matrix internally. And it'll like translate it by that much. And then on the next frame, it'll undo what it did. And then translate it again? But that's kind of weird. Or maybe it should just it should have just shifted by the delta, something like that. Oh well, anyway. I just won't bother trying to scale that. Or if I scale it, I could just scale the points. Like this. I think it's something like this. Yeah. Just don't use model matrices. Because they're bad. But then again, I don't even know if I want to scale this anywhere else. But here, I can just talk about how the equation maps onto the triangle. And then I'm looking for a way to visualize the sign. I can bring up this picture on how you visualize the sign. Once I've gone through that, I can say, all right, and then you can see the sign of each angle, of each of these angles on the triangle. For example, the sign of A scaled by C is right here. Which is also the sign of C scaled by A. Then I can just talk through this. Then I can just wrap things up here. Great. Anyway, I think this is pretty much done. But what would be neat is if I could push this and have it on the website right now. So I'll try doing that. I won't push to GitHub right now. What's that? This is what I normally do. So copy from Pyodide into the Wasm directory. Yeah, let me just try this. No, I didn't know my camera turned off. When did that happen? That's weird. There, something like that. Anyways, great. So now if I go to the actual website, I think, if I'm not logged in, this might crash. Because I think this is tailored to run with this code. Okay, so that worked. It is pulling the same code. Oh, it doesn't have like the triangle playground. Why? If it has it here, it's under law of signs. And I'm scared I'm going to overwrite it. So I'm going to copy all of that. Oh, I'm not logged in. Okay, so that makes sense. I'm not logged in on this one. Okay. And if I do log in, I think with this one. Now I get these. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna move my code into... Oh, man. By the way, these aren't like passwords. But normally I copy my code into the public directory. But now there's enough accounts that I can't really tell which one's mine. Huh. That is a minor problem. I think it's this one. I have to like print my user ID. I'd better hope this isn't like a password. But I'm fairly certain it's not. A user ID, like, you can't even change that when you change your password, so. I'll just log my user, I guess. And I think there's like... I need a better way to do this. It didn't work. Wait, label of undefined. That's really weird. Oh, it's because I didn't go to a selection screen, I think. That's why that happened. This only occurs when I log in. And here I didn't log in, it just happened automatically. So I think I have to do this. Okay, now it logged in. Okay, anyway, I'm the TDN one. Better hope that didn't just ruin everything anyway. I'm just gonna copy that into the public directory. I can't tell if it worked. Let's see. Okay, I guess I didn't change that one. And so I think that means that now if I log out of this, and just go to one of these, then if I'm lucky, this won't crash and burn. Okay, let me go here. This font size is way bigger now. Okay, now this has the newer stuff I just pushed. And the label. The one label. Cool. Maybe it would make sense for this to be the color of the side that it's normal to. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try making a video just walking through this. And what I'll try to do is just record myself with like OBS and talk rather than making a video as if it were a lesson. And that would be pretty cool. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else I wanted to do? Oh, I should make it so you don't have to have that insane font size. This should be a configurable thing. But should I do that now? Okay, well... Oh. Auto refresh scenes and improve Python IO. Now what I need, this editor. Where is the editor? Where do I like create it? Here. That's where I put the big font size. Yeah, there needs to be like plus minus buttons or something. Or really, This needs like a settings menu where you can click here and then there's a drop down and then you can do all that stuff. That's what would make the most sense. Content save. Where's the header? Button container. Pane. With this flex box. I think this is the header. Justify space between, and it has... Wait, no. This Python doesn't even appear. Oh, because I think I'm using a different library for icons? Can I go to the banner? I'm doing this. Type MDI GitHub, I'll say. And then here, I think I have to import that. Yeah, like this, and the SVG icon. Okay, so here's all the imports. So now I have MDI Python. I can put that here, and it's probably not supposed to be 42. Oh, this is not even the local version. Does not provide an export named MDI Python. That's weird. Oh, it was language Python, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah, it was language Python. And if this does work, it's going to be way too big. Nope, just didn't work. Okay, what do we got here? MDI language Python was accessed. Okay, that makes... It makes sense, but it's kind of dumb that that has to happen. Because I have to export it or whatever. Here. There. Now it's there. It's just way too big. Is this centered? Justify space between align center. Yeah. That's too small. That looks about right. This looks like it's not centered on my screen though. Oh well. Doesn't really give you any information. It's obvious that this is Python. But I'll just push that because I can. Okay, and following that, I'm gonna need some sort of menu to like control the font size. And also probably the color palette. Menu. Yeah, so basically this. What is a list menu? It's just a list of things like that. Which I don't think is what I'm trying to do. Anyways, if I go back to this, and I won't be logged in. And there's still no Python, so that's great. There, now it's there. Great. I guess I have to have a gear. It's gotta be either gear or settings. Cog. I guess I want cog. Great. And these have to be in the same span. And I messed that up very badly. There. Great. And this needs like an on click. Or let me look at this API. Show menu on click, so it's basically this. W menu that has a template, then the template has that. So W dash W menu. And there's where the content goes. This is where the clickable thing is. I wonder what this hash activator means. It can only be the function, right? No, v on has to be something that stores whether it was open or not. The slot is required and must have the v on equals on director set in order for it to toggle the menu correctly. The activator can be any visible DOM element or a mounted component. Okay. This is, I guess this will have this. Wait, not that, but this. The span. Outline color primary class. I don't need any of that. Doesn't do anything. Okay. It doesn't even look clickable, which isn't that great. Do the buttons? I'm not sure if button... There are icon buttons. W button icon equals whatever, but I don't know if that works with the icon library I'm using. Default, the button content. Maybe I can do it that way. There's one to make it round. Yeah, there is. So maybe this shouldn't just be a span. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. I'll do that later. For now, this just needs like a div. What do I want here? I need font size, then a colon, and then like 2 buttons, a plus and a minus. So like the number will go there. Then I'll need a button for plus and a button for minus. So I'll just do that right now. Something like this. Now for the current font, I'll have to see what it defaults to in Monaco. Inherited from this. It might just pull this from the... I don't know how to get the default font size. Window.getComputedStyle of element comma null. What an enormous pain. It must be possible to read this from Monaco. Options. Man. Without knowing the default, maybe I should just set a default on my own all the time. Like here I'm setting it to 18. If I don't set one, this is the default font size, but I don't know what that is. So maybe if I just guess it. That looks the same. I guess it was 14. Okay, but anyway, I'll make these buttons now. Div font size colon. I'll need a current font size variable. Here's the editor. Const. Font size, that'll be ref 14. This will be current font size and font size dot value. You have to return that. Then here, and it still says the brackets font. There should be a way to do this without having to wait for Pyodine to reload. Okay, so now that works. And these will have to be buttons. Yeah. I'm just gonna mostly copy this from this. Class margin around 1, color shouldn't be error. I just won't set this. I won't set this. I'll set a default slot. Which I'm not totally sure how to use these templates. V slot colon. And then this will have to be the SVG icon of a plus. And it should be round. It's like it only works for one update. Well, that or the round isn't working. I think I should be able to... the code won't load properly from this page. I know that for sure, but I think I'll still be able to see this. And that looks terrible. SVG. Is it the height of this thing that's not high enough? No. I probably won't try to style this right now. Yeah, I won't bother with that. Okay, forget it. I just won't have it be round. And there's the plus, and I'll also need the minus. Okay. This ought to be a, like, increase. It should just be, maybe I can get away with set. font size. The function will have to be something like this. Equals arrow. So to take current font size. Is this the minus 1? I'll just set that down here. Or write it down here. And now, console.log. Oh, it might actually be more convenient. Nah, forget. I'll just do that. Yeah, so let's see if that works. And it does. Which means this. For this button, I can do it with a plus. And what this is going to do is update the font size in Monaco. Yeah, that was it, I think. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, I can't find it again. It's the same page. API for setting the font size. Trying to hack the DOM says that probably won't be compatible. Try this. Check out this and start typing properties. It'll autocomplete. It's not telling you how to... It's a number, not a string. The parse value is blah, 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 blah. Check that in the playground. I know there's a way to update the configuration. Is it like update config? I'm trying to change the font. Maybe measure and update the editor. Set the font family. Let's see. Update options. Wait, where are the event or the functions? Create. And I set theme, etc. This returns this. This object has these methods. This has update options. And this returns, or this takes, an iEditor options. Ampersanded with the global options. Okay. So it should be, if my editor is returned here, actually it doesn't have to be returned. I have this editor here, so when I do set the editor, Update options. And this should be just size. Now, first of all, I need some text, so I have to go back like this. So I go here. It worked once. Oh, because I'm not updating current font size or whatever. Is it possible to just read this? Probably not. Current font size. I'm actually really surprised that automatically reloaded. Why do I feel like the plus should be on the other side? I just do. Man. That's where I was. Okay, I think this is the last thing I'll probably have to do. I think... Okay, that's pretty nice. And I could update that just a few levels. And like start coding on something. If I can even find it. Is this normally case sensitive? Cool. Okay, now I'll go ahead and push that too. Since that's fairly fast, and I think that's the last thing I'll do right now. And just double check that it doesn't break in the built version. Because sometimes it does. Sometimes only the built version has a bug. Also, I should have turned on my light. It's way too bright. There, anyway. Uh-oh. It doesn't even say loading. Did I break it? What happened? I can't even open the dev tools. Expected a JavaScript module script. Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, there we go. Okay, now if I do this as a not logged in person. That works. And you can update this. Perfect. And I dare say that is pretty nice. One day I'll be used to this enough that I could just record a video on stream, but I feel like that's gonna be a lot of debugging and stuff, so I'm not gonna try it. I might as well do a raid, why not? Let's see who's doing some software and game development. So here we have me. Alright, why not, there's someone who was doing their first time. Who I forgot. Or this person? Oh, this person. Yeah, I can go ahead and raid him. Cool. Wait, wasn't trying to do that. One day I'll be able to do this without typing, but not yet. Okay, cool. I'll see you guys in the next stream or Discord. And here I'll cut it for YouTube.